It's wisdom. And now, for the lighter side of enlightenment, it's my pleasure to introduce Trudy Bayerman. Bring Trudy on with a nice global sciences welcome. Will you please?
Well, it's a pleasure to be here. I am a global science virgin. It's my very first time. Once in every lifetime comes a being so enlightened, so evolved, so pure, that the whole world is transformed. Well, we couldn't find anyone like that. But we do have Swami Beyondananda, that cross between Ram Dass and Hagen Dass. Chakra chip. That cross between Gandhi and Groucho. They say by a man's works shall ye know him. Swami's books are driving your own karma. And when you see a sacred cow, milk it for all it's worth. His tapes are The Yogi from Muskogee, Enlightening Strikes Again, and Don't Squeeze the Shaman. One of the things he loves to do is he loves to take live questions from the audience. So there'll be a segment where he'll announce that and have your questions ready. And it doesn't matter how profound the question or how mundane, he promises to answer or evade all of your questions. There you have it. Now tonight is a very special night. He's made a special request of me to, he always wanted me to kind of wear, like a slinky dress, and so I said, okay, tonight is the night. So you all are going to be the recipients of this. So are you ready for this? Yeah. Are you really ready for this? Yeah. Let's have a drum roll in your seats there. What did you expect with the slinky dress, with the Swami? So without any further ado, let us welcome, let's sing out, Swami, 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 how we love you, how we love you.
Oh, thank you. Oh, am I on?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. How many people, by the way, have seen the Swami before? Anybody? Well, you're seeing him again. Okay, how many people have seen the Swami but don't remember? Okay, that's called vujade. Vujade is when something actually has happened, only you forgot. Wait a minute, does this sound familiar? You're walking down the street, all of a sudden you go, wait a minute, this has never happened before. Vujade, vujade. It's great to be here. It's wonderful to be in a room with so many seekers because, as you know, there's a seeker born every minute, right? And two, to take him along the path. And it's not easy being on the path nowadays because if you're on the path, as you know, there are many, many obstacles. And by the way, you have to watch very carefully where you step, I'm telling you. So that's why I'm writing a new book about being on the path, looking out for number 2. All these people who are releasing and letting go, look out. I can't go barefoot anymore. By the way, I just got back from the Ascended Masters Golf Tournament, which is a fabulous event. Now, do you have any golfers here? Anybody loves golf? I hope I'm not offending you, but personally, I find watching golf is boring. To me, watching golf is like listening to bowling on the radio, you know what I mean? But it's a great event. I go there every year. And this year, the Ascended Masters Golf Tournament was held in the Himalayas. And in the Himalayas, there are these beings, I'm not kidding, they are so evolved. They don't have to eat. They don't eat any food. And they exist on breath alone. So while I was there, I took advantage. I went to a breatharian restaurant, you know. Now, of course, they didn't serve any food, but the atmosphere was great, you know. So I'm sitting in this place. I see these 3 guys walking by. They have clothespins on their noses. They were fasting. I didn't know that. Yeah, you won't believe this. I talked to one of them, and not only doesn't he eat any food, he doesn't drink any water either. You know what his name is? Pierre. Okay, that's time release. Tomorrow you'll laugh for no reason, I promise. There's an aptly named guy. You know, I think names are very important, you know. For example, I knew a woman who could not stay in a relationship because of her name. Her name was Frida Knight. Some guy would ask, "Are you Frida Knight?" She'd go, "Yes." End of relationship, new guy. Remember, you remember Aristotle Onassis? Remember him? Well, he has a nephew who is a survivalist in Montana. You know what his name is? Xavier. Xavier Onassis. That's his name. And this year, I don't know, this was a bad year to be named Tupac, right? Because the rap singer Tupac Shakur, he unfortunately bought it. And the Tupac Amaru rebels, they were all wiped out. And if only they had known that Tupac, spelled backwards, is kaput. They should have paid attention to this. It's great to be here, I'm telling you, because I find that I'm happy to be around people who are taking charge of their own lives and taking charge of their own health. I was talking to somebody, and he told me a story. He said that he needed a very serious operation. And so he went to the finest surgeon in the country, and the operation was successful. The surgeon presented him with the bill. He said, "I'm sorry, I can't pay." The surgeon says, "Well, what about your health insurance?" He says, "I don't have any health insurance." Surgeon says, "Well, okay, how much of this can you pay?" He says, "To be honest, I'm penniless. I can't pay anything." The surgeon is very upset. He says, "If you knew you couldn't pay, why did you go to the finest surgeon in the country?" And the man said, "Because when it comes to my health, money is no object." So I'm happy to be around people who are in charge of their lives like that. Oh, you should congratulate me. I got my own sitcom. Congratulate me. Yeah. It's on that new meditation network. I sit calm for 30 minutes, just like that. It's very relaxing to watch, you know. You know, I've heard this thing about being in the now. How many people would like to be in the now? Well, it's too late. It's already then. That's how quick things change. But if you watch the meditation channel, you can sit calm with me. Now, I've been doing a lot of traveling around, and I find a lot of people nowadays are feeling a little confused. So I want to do a little survey. How many people are feeling a little confused now? Okay, how many people are not sure? I know what you mean. See, these are very confusing times. Are you familiar with Heisenberg's uncertainty principle? You've heard of that? Scientists aren't even sure if it's true. That's how confusing things are. Because there's so much change going on the planet, a lot of people are suffering from what I call emotion sickness. You might have this problem. Have you tried so many paths that you're pathological? Huh? Have you had so much personal growth that you're totally growthed out? Do you believe that God probably loves you? He's just not ready to make a commitment? Yeah. Well, if you've tried absolutely everything and you find that absolutely nothing has worked, I've got great news, because I have here the ultimate enlightenment product, absolutely nothing in a box. This is the ultimate product, because whatever your problem is, nothing will help. For example, did you know that nothing is known to cure baldness? Nothing gets out those impossible stains. Nothing is completely safe to eat. Nothing beats sex. And of course, nothing is made in the US. Now, this woman came up to me, she said, Swami, nothing satisfies my husband. I said, good news, buy him some. Now, we have a little panel on the box so you could see exactly how much nothing you have left. This is truth in packaging. See, right up here, you got plenty of nothing. But down here, time to get more. And of course, we have very strict quality control. Our slogan is, we do nothing right or we don't do nothing at all. Now, if you believe you can't get nothing for $5 nowadays, you're wrong. You can. And if you like nothing better than money, the Swami likes money better than nothing. So maybe we can make a deal, okay? No, this is very interesting times that we're living in. You know, I was just in California, and, you know, people are concerned about these earth changes that they hear about. And I got a question. Somebody said, Swami, if Mother Earth is such a loving mother, why does she shake us up with these earthquakes? I said, well, I'll tell you. Even the most loving mother is not perfect. And the earth has her faults, right? So if you build a house on a fault, whose fault is it? So a very simple way to avoid earthquakes in the future. When you find a fault, don't dwell on it, okay? Now, a lot of people are concerned with world peace and creating peace. Well, and I think that's great. But I'll tell you something. If you want to be peaceful in this life, you have to be careful what you say. You must speak the words of peace. Only let peaceful words pass from your lips. Now, I know there are times you're going to be upset, so I'm going to teach you a peace mantra that you can recite every time you're upset, okay? Goes like this. Peace on it. Somebody puts a scratch in your new Lexus. Peace on it, you know? This works, but let's all try it together. Peace on it. Doesn't that feel more peaceful already? Huh? Okay, the second secret to, and it's not a secret anymore because I'm telling you. The second secret to creating peace is a very ancient one. Turn the other cheek, okay? Something is upsetting to you, turn the other cheek. Now, somebody said to me, well, look, I've already turned both cheeks. What do I do now? Well, I say you haven't released enough. There's still more you have to release. That's when you start turning one of these cheeks down here. You know what I mean? That's called a great technique called gastral projection. Changes energy all over the place. No, really, to err is human, right? I didn't make this up. You could read about it. There's a new book in Creating Peace Through Gastral Projection. It's called Gandhi with the Wind. Gandhi with the Wind. Okay, by the way, that was channeled, so that wasn't my fault. All channeled. The third secret for creating peace is to, you know, we live in a world that there's a lot of toxins, there's a lot of poisons, right? And so how do we keep from being affected by these poisons? Very simple. Don't take it poisonally. I'm serious about that. And there's a way to keep from taking it poisonally, and that is by laughing, because laughter is healing. I don't know if you know this, but laughter lowers the blood pressure, because when we laugh, it causes our blood vessels to dilate. And that's better than having them die early. I want mine to dilate. I don't know about you. Okay. And people say the world is in a grave state. Well, the best way to overcome gravity is with levity, okay? It's very important. So I recommend a good laxative twice a day. And that restores regular hilarity. And it helps prevent hemorrhoids as well. And I think it's important to have a good spiritual foundation, and that is why I am a fundamentalist. I believe the fun should always come before the mental, okay? Yes, it is my purpose as a fundamentalist to bring about what is called non-judgment day. In non-judgment day, that is when all of the lawyers disappear. You know that old spiritual about all our trials being over? That's what they're talking about. I read about it in that new book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, and Lawyers Are From Uranus. Non-judgment day, that is when everybody will lay down their arms. Now we're going to look pretty funny with our arms down on the ground and our butts sticking up in the air like this. But you can't attack anybody in this position, you see? Unless, of course, you've just had burritos. That's one qualification. Now, these are very, very interesting times, and I know that people have many, many questions. So I want to tell you that all of the answers are already within you. Of course, you don't know what the corresponding questions are, but that's okay. So I am here. I am here to answer all of your questions, and I hope that you will question my answers. Right? No, and I'll tell you something. It could be about anything. Somebody very recently asked me, Swami, he says, I believe I have a twin in a parallel universe. How do I contact him? I said, send him a parallelogram. Very, very simple. So don't be afraid to ask the Swami a question that could change your life. There was a woman, this is true, very recently. She raised her hand, she said, Swami, I'm afraid to fly because I'm afraid that somebody is going to have a bomb on the plane. I said, listen, I've studied this. The odds of somebody having a bomb on the plane, very remote, about 1 in 600,000. But the odds of 2 people having a bomb on the same plane, 1 in 50 billion. So next time you fly, take a bomb with you. It's logical, it's logical. I think it's logical. Okay, now, I know that there's burning questions out there, so don't be afraid to ask a question. Don't be afraid to appear foolish. Look at me. Okay. So who is first? Who has a question? Yes?
Do you practice and believe in unconditional love, and how should we go about it?
Okay, she wanted to know if I practice and believe in unconditional love, how do we go about it? Okay. How many people would like to be loved unconditionally? Raise your hand. Okay, very good. If you buy my books and tapes, I promise I will love you unconditionally. Let's make a deal, okay? Okay, who's next? Yes, way back there.
Swami, how do we learn to levitate?
How do we learn to levitate? Well, I'd say through laughter, you know, levity. Levity will help you levitate. If that doesn't work, move to Levittown. Well, really, levitation is on the rise everywhere, so. Okay, who is next? Yes?
Yeah, I want to know how to get to the hollow earth. Do you have any ideas?
How to get to the hollow earth. I thought you were going to ask me how to get to heaven. And I was going to suggest that you stand out on the interstate, wear dark clothes at night, but you might get to the hollow earth that way too. I don't know. I probably could. Okay, who's next? I have plenty of answers. Come on. Yes, thank you.
What's the easiest way to become enlightened?
What is the easiest way to become enlightened? Well, I think everybody has their own path to enlightenment. Now, for me, I got struck by enlightening during a brainstorm. Now I see funny. That's I see farce fields around people. Little clown auras around their clown chakras, you see. See, the problem with trying to become enlightened is if you're trying to become, you'll never get there that way. So you have to imagine that you're already enlightened. And let everybody come to you that way. Okay? Figure that one out. Who's next? Yes.
Are there any utopias on Earth?
Are there any utopias on Earth? Well, by definition, there are no utopias on Earth. This is a physical existence. And a lot of people are wondering, why is it that we are put through all of this trauma? You know, why do bad things happen to good people? And I think I figured it out. God is dyslexic. I think I figured that out. Don't make me read minds, please. Yes?
Discuss Tantric Yoga.
Could I discuss Tantric Yoga? Well, my guru, Hari Kahan Baba, the Garment Center saint, he was very strict about that. He said, no sex while on the path. So you want to have sex, go behind a tree, not on the path. Very, very distracting. But actually, I have practiced the celibate path. I try to celibate everywhere I go. Actually, I do a technique called tantrum yoga. That's a way to help you use your anger to heat your home in the wintertime. Very powerful. Tantrum yoga, that's where you hold your breath until God gives you what you want. That is how Krishna turned blue. I don't know if you knew that. Yes.
What is your definition of sin?
What is my definition of sin? Well, actually, sin, what it really means is missing the mark. That's what a sin means. So we miss the mark all the time. But that doesn't mean that we're bad people or anything like that. We're here to learn. This is a learning experience. So, I mean, would you punish a child for falling down when he's learning how to walk? So that's what a sin is. It's a mistake. When we become conscious, then we can change. So this is about becoming conscious. Ah! There's a joke hidden in there. Find it. Okay, who else? Yes, and thank you for being up front with me. What was that?
All this wisdom you're giving us,
When am I going to write a book? Well, actually, I am working on a book right now, but I have written 2 books. Driving Your Own Karma, When You See a Sacred Cow, Milk It for All It's Worth. And those books happen to be available right here, right now. So it's amazing. You might even get some unconditional love out of it. We don't know. And by the way, if you buy one of these books and read them, and you're not completely satisfied, I will double your karma back. So, get very few people taking me up on that, but it's an offer, unconditional guarantee.
I have a
Yes,
question.
right back.
I have a question.
Oh wait, we got somebody up here. Yes.
What do you do when your microphone loses power?
Oh, I don't. We get a new mic. Oh, I feel so much more powerful now. Ah, thank you. Very good. I like that question. I was wondering why I was straining and. Okay. Yes, there was somebody back there. Yes. How do you develop your channeling abilities? Well, first of all, everybody is channeling. I know that because the channels are all taken up. I've had to go on cable. And believe me, we've lost power. I know a mime is a terrible thing to waste, but okay, how's this? Okay. How do you develop your channeling ability? Well, I'll tell you something. It's very easy to channel because there are all of these disembodied entities cruising around the astral looking for a body to be in. Because I'll tell you something, blonde or brunette, people in bodies have more fun. I feel bad for these disembodied entities. They have closets full of clothes, nothing to wear them on. Low self-esteem, they feel like nobodies. Hey, just cruise the astral. They have their thumbs out like that. You'll find them. But by the way, enlightenment isn't a bureaucracy, so you don't have to go through channels. Okay, way back there.
I think he meant to ask you, how did you come to enlightenment?
How did I come to enlightenment? Oh, well, you know, I was studying with Harry Khan Baba, as I said, the Garment Center saint, and he had an ashram in New York. Anybody from New York, by the way? Anyone from New York who won't admit it? Okay, well, he had an ashram in Flushing, New York, and that was often my impulse. Flushing, New York, what an idea. But anyway, I used to teach on the subway, so I had an underground following for quite a while. And I encountered one day these young healers on the subway who offered to give me a treatment in what they called Brooklyn acupressure. Noogies, noogies, noogies. Well, I let them do this, and all of a sudden I could feel my kundalini start to stir, you know what I mean? It's a good idea to stir your kundalini, otherwise it ends up in a congealed blob down there in your lower chakras, you see. And so I felt this surge of energy, an explosion at the top of my head, and my hair had turned rainbow colored. So I went back on the subway, and of course, if you look like that on the subway, nobody notices. I burst into Harry Khan Baba's ashram. I said, "Oh, garment-centered one, what has happened to me?" He said, "Oh, it looks like you've been struck by enlightening. It opened your crown chakra." So, my personal experience, you see. Okay, yes?
Talk to us about reincarnation.
About reincarnation. How many people believe in reincarnation? Okay. How many people do not believe in reincarnation? Okay, well, you will in your next lifetime, I promise, or no? No, I believe in reincarnation because I think that God is a recycler. I'm what they call a born again, 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 born again Krishna. And we've gone around many, many times. In fact, now this is an amazing thing. It happens all the time. You asked me that question. Do you remember your past lives? Okay, do you remember the past life we had together in Tibet? Okay, we were lamas in Tibet, remember? Yeah, you were a lama, I was a yak, actually, but we were like this. Okay, now you got to remember this one. Remember the lifetime that we sat at the feet of the Buddha? Yeah, and you know the Buddha, by the way, not many people know this, the Buddha never washed his feet. So we were part of that first recovery group called Odor Eaters Anonymous, okay? Tell you something about the Buddha. But anyway, this mild-mannered woman over here, every time the Buddha would sit to meditate, she would interrupt him with an impertinent question. Remember that? And they named a city after you. Budapest. Yeah, I'm glad you remember this. It goes back a long time. Okay, who else? Yes, way back there. How do you find your soulmate? How many people have been looking for a soulmate and have found a heel instead? Very simple way to know if a person is your soulmate. Take off your shoes, put your feet like this if they match your soulmates. Okay, I have ignored this part of the room. Anybody on this? Yes, way back there. What is the meaning of life? The magazine or the cereal, which one? Okay, meaning of life, very, very simple. So simple you're not going to believe it. The meaning of life is that every human being secretly wants to be a great piano player. I want to test this. Please be honest. How many people, tell the truth, would love to be a great piano player? Raise your hand. That's the meaning of life. Now, I can't take credit for this discovery. This is something that Sigmund Freud discovered back in 1905. He called it pianist envy. Little known facts, little known facts. Okay, who else? Yes.
What's going to happen in the year 2000?
What's going to happen in the year 2000? Well, you know what? I don't like to make predictions because I don't want to ruin my nonprofit status. Predictions are very interesting. Think about it. I want you to think about it. How many predictions have actually ever come true? Nostradamus, as great as he was, he missed the last 3 NBA champions. Totally got that wrong. You know, really, I'm telling you, the weather, can't even predict the weather. You know, they make all of these instruments, and one little butterfly fart, and all of a sudden, the whole weather changes around the planet. Right? So that's the magic of being alive, is that it's unpredictable. Each of us is a figment of our own imagination. Think about that. Now, I actually have to admit that in the future, we will actually develop our psychic abilities. And in fact, I do predict in the near future that there will be a department store where everybody working there will be psychic. It'll be called Sears. When you walk in, they already have your order. They know what you want, you know. When you apply for a credit card, they don't check your past credit. They check your future credit. They're not foolish. But we have not yet evolved to that point because I was recently reading the newspaper in, I forget what town it was. Then the headline said, psychic fair canceled due to unforeseen circumstances. So, yes. How would you bring the IRS into enlightenment? Well, actually, there is a way. How many of you are multiple personalities? Raise your hand. Listen, I discovered my inner child, okay? I'm toilet training my inner child these days, but I'm working. Then I discovered my inner aunt and uncle, my inner grandparents, my inner cousins from Toledo. I'm going, my God, how am I going to support all these people? I found my inner tax attorney. He said, take them all as dependents. So that's one way to do it. But then IRS and enlightenment, that's an oxymoron, right? So, okay. Who else? Yes, over here. How do you get rid of the IRS? Well, I don't know. I mean, this is personally. I guess you can stand on this in the middle of the freeway, you know, with dark clothes and no more IRS. That's a very personal solution to that problem. Yes.
How do I keep from going bald?
How do you keep from going bald? Well, fortunately, we still have a few of these left, so you. Actually, baldness is a sign of enlightenment. All of that meditation tends to burn a lot of heat, and the hair flies off like that. Any other questions for the Swami? Yes?
Tell us your experiences with astral projection.
Astral projection. How many people have traveled out of their bodies? Anybody? I had an out-of-beer experience not too long ago. If you're going to travel out of your body, 2 things you must remember. Number 1, when you leave your body, always leave it running, okay? Number 2, remember where you parked it. Let's tie a balloon to it or something, but it's very important to know that. Okay, yes?
When you said that, in order to become enlightened, we needed to become conscious, were you insinuating that everybody was unconscious?
I was not in. I very rarely insinuate. Usually I say things very directly. No, I think that we have a culture that puts us in trances all the time. This is nothing new, you know? And so we have to choose things that are transforming instead of just transforming. You know what I'm saying? So we need to choose music and culture and people to be around that wake us up. It's voluntary, you know? People ask me, Swami, is there life after death? I say, is there life after birth? A more significant question, right? Okay, who else? Over there. Do I have a what?
Flying carpet.
Do I have a flying carpet? No, I like my carpets to pretty much sit on the floor. I am weird enough without having a carpet that flies around. Yes?
Can we hope Bill Clinton will have enlightenment?
Well, you know, Bill Clinton, I think we expect too much from Bill Clinton. I really do. He doesn't even know how to inhale. No, actually, Bill Clinton, he actually has an actual plan to create a healthy economy by bringing Japan to its knees economically. He is going to send one of George Bush's boys over there to start some SNLs, you know. Okay, by the way, the biggest problem, I'm serious, the biggest political and social problem we face as a culture, dope addiction. We seem to be addicted to electing dopes to public office. So it's not their problem, we are the addicts. We are addicted to electing them. But I predict that in the not too distant future, we are going to have our first woman president, and I think that would be a positive thing, because when you only have men in government, you know what you have? A stagnation. Let the women make a donation. Why not? Why not? Okay, we have time for another question or two. Yes, way over there.
What's Clinton going to do about Zippergate?
What's Clinton going to do about Zippergate? Well, as I said, I don't like to make predictions, but I will this time. I predicted in the very near future they're going to find out that Paula Jones was only telling part of the truth. Now, of course, Clinton did proposition her, but she said, I'll be damned if I'm going to spend $100,000 to sleep over. So that, I think you're going to find that out. And by the way, she didn't sleep in the Lincoln bedroom. They put her in the Johnson room, okay? That was channeled. I don't know where this information comes from. I'm on all the wire services. Okay, who else? Okay, we have time for one more question. Let's hear it. Okay, over there.
Do we have two hearts?
Can we have two hearts?
We have two hearts.
Do we have two hearts? Do we have two hearts? I know people who don't even have one. Maybe other people are hoarding them. If you have two hearts, give one to somebody who doesn't have one. Okay, yes.
What is your connection to the bossa nova?
What is my connection to the bossa nova? I don't know, but I think it's something we can blame it on. Okay, how many people, I want to give you something instructional and helpful. How many people would like to release their attachment to money? See me later. Okay, how many people would like to have more money in their lives? Now, I have this wonderful mantra that I've learned that will help you have more money in your life and help you lose weight at the same time. Anybody interested? Okay, I learned it from believe it or not, it was an article in Reader's Digest on prosperity. It was called, I Up My Income, Up Yours. And it taught me a very simple money mantra that goes like this. Everything I eat turns to money. Now think about this. It's very powerful because the mind is very powerful in this work. So I want you to say this with me. It's a prosperity mantra. Everything I eat turns to money. I don't believe you. I don't think you want to be prosperous. Because it's very powerful. Listen, everything I eat turns to money, and my drawers are full of cash. What do you think? Okay, somebody got it over here. Good, okay. Okay, I want to end this with a song, okay? So if we could have some music. Is this mic working? Good, this is amazing. I am the Swami, I am here to say, our purpose on the planet is to laugh and play. If everyone lives life this way, we'll bring about non-judgment day. Imagine a world without judgments. We will all win beauty contests. Beyondananda is my name. Fundamentalism is my game. Everyone gets transcendental when the fun comes before the mental. You want this truth to come across? Clear your mind with mental floss, like this. Back and forth twice a day. You'll prevent truth decay. I am on a special mission to bring you people television. Telling your vision. That's the key, cause what you get is what you see. I tell a vision. You tell one too. You can be your own guru. G-U-R-U. 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 Each of us is a precious soul, here to play a special role. Do what you love, that's essential. It's how you'll reach your true potential. You want to give the world a lift? Just pursue your special gift.
Like, what's my special gift, Swami?
It is a blender. No, really. Stop sitting on your assets. Invest in yourself, because the more yourself appreciates, the more you will appreciate yourself. Peace on the planet, peace in your heart. The face in the mirror is the place to start. A little piece here and a little piece there makes one big piece everywhere. Any questions?
Swami, I've heard that the way to survive the coming years is to invest in diamonds and hoard food. What do you say?
I say invest in hearts and give food away.
Swami, will there ever be peace on Earth?
Absolutely. I sure hope we humans are around to enjoy it.
Swami, what's the key to the universe?
Well, I got some bad news and I got some good news. The bad news is there's no key to the universe. The good news is it has been left unlocked. G-U-R-U. 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 Everybody. G-U-R-U. 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 Thank you very much. I want to leave you with this one idea, okay? Now, I said that laughter was healing. Well, I just read, and I think it was in the Scientific American, that physiologically speaking, laughter is a lot like orgasm. So thank you for coming. Good night.
Remember, you heard it here first. Swami will be giving a workshop tomorrow night if you want to get in on more of this. Thank you very much, folks. Now on, you got the rest of the night. We're supposed to have some punch out here someplace, free, and you can visit the exhibits. Take your time. Be back tomorrow morning. We're going to hear some more things that you won't have or won't believe, probably. Also, door prizes at 8:15 tomorrow morning, so be sure you're here. Get the free stuff. Thank you and good night, but hang around as long as you like. Thank you very much, Swami. Thank you.